Okay, guys, we have got a full, delicious meal prepared for you for our main course. And it's not prepared by Coach Mike Jones. We have a fresh dish brought to you today by our man LL, who has brought something really tasty for us to the Prowl Nation barbecue. So, LL, what you got for us?
Well, I don't know how tasty it's gonna be, but I had to go back too because a lot of things that we say on this show, I see other people talk about it, but I don't ever see any credit. But it could just be great minds think alike, and I'm not gonna call anybody out on this one. But a while ago, a long time ago, and I even had to go just to see for myself. But like in the beginning of December 2nd to be exact, I had sent out a post to a bunch of my friends. Like, if we end up with the 16th pick, would y'all trade it for Jalen Ramsey? That's what I think we was at 16 or whatever it is. Just wondering. Just figuring stuff out. Some people say yes, some people say hell no. Things like that. And now, over the last few weeks or so, I might have seen one video, then another video, and now I'm seeing more and more and more. Now it's from a video or from a channel that's close related to us, and I see them out there, but I don't think I'm not saying this. It's a rumor that's out there, so I'm gonna cut the joke in half there. But yeah, and that is if we were to trade for Jalen Ramsey. I haven't watched any of the other videos on it, so I don't know what the packages consist of. But in my mind, I'm not willing to give up a whole lot for him. In my mind, I was thinking maybe 18, like where we stand right now. I would probably give up 18 for Jalen Ramsey. But then I actually looked into it a little bit because in my mind, I'm like, maybe like 27, 28. I knew he was getting paid because I remember he saying the big deal. Then he got traded to LA, but I didn't know. And Ms. Val let me know he made it re-up in LA. I didn't know that part. But I knew he was getting paid, but I thought that was a few years ago. So I thought he was, down the chart some. He's still making pretty good money. His cap hit is still like 25, 26 million at 28 years old, and he on the 29 side of 28. So, I feel like he's still a good player. I know some people, may have an issue with his attitude. I don't care about that. He's a football player. I like Jalen Ramsey. As a football player, I like Jalen Ramsey. He's been getting caught out of position some of these times too. A lot of people saying he's getting burnt. And I was a little upset at medium play Slay for saying that about the other dude the other day saying, this is what happened and other people gonna say he got burnt. He did get burnt, but he didn't have safety help. That's just there's two parts to the story. But same thing with Jalen Ramsey. Right. Sometimes he get burnt, sometimes he make a move and there's supposed to be another guy there and they're not there. So whatever. I still think he's a very good football player. And if that number was 25 instead of 27 or 28, sorry. If he was 25 and the exact same money, I'd say pull the trigger. Not giving up a whole lot, but maybe that 18 pick in the next year, second round pick or something, I will pull that trigger because that's what we need on this defense. Imagine if, right? The thing about it's like context, right? When people look at the Lions, they go say, "Oh, he didn't make the playoffs, though." Yeah, it was a lot. It was ups and downs, a lot that goes into it, right? Text without context is no sense, or whatever that saying is, right? But I don't really like Raheem Morris as a defensive coordinator. He don't really put him in the best position, and he's actually a man corner, so you can put him just on a guy. You know how they used to do Darrell Reeves. I'm not going to even mention I'm not going to mention the GOAT, but you can just put him on the guy, and that's what we need. And back to my scenario. Imagine if with the pass rush that we got Aiden Hutchinson, whoever on the other side, whether it be James. Houston or I'm gonna say the problem. James Houston, we got the guys in there. We sending a good little blitz, right? And we don't got Okuda or Armani or Warrior on the back end. We got Jalen Ramsey on the other end of that. Just imagine. So yeah, it's worth the money, but if he was a little bit younger and those things. So I'm gonna answer my own question. I'm gonna answer the question. Would I trade for Jalen Ramsey? Probably not. We have to restructure that contract and stuff like that to make it a whole lot friendlier to us. And I wouldn't give up a whole lot for him. But what do you guys think? Would you guys put together a package to trade for Jalen Ramsey? Yeah, hell no, not even with another package. Or what do you think?
You know what? It would all just depend on what Jalen Ramsey, what you could get him for, how you could structure his deal, how you could, kind of backload it, or you know what I'm saying, and kind of hold off that big cap number until 2024 when we actually have a big bulk of cap money. But I would definitely consider Jalen Ramsey because Jalen Ramsey having a shutdown corner, it's just it it's it's different. Like when you can lock down, like you see how Sauce Gardner is perceived. When you got a guy who can shut somebody down, who can lock down a whole area, I mean, that allows your defensive line to pin their ears back. As you know, their number one guy is being covered. So man, it would just depend. I'm not one to be like, oh no, because I know a lot of Lions are like, oh no, we don't need them. Like if you look at how close the Lions were to the playoffs, if you look at the playoffs, look at the teams that were in the playoffs, that we beat some of them. You look at how they're performing, and you add Jalen Ramsey to the mix, plus whatever's in the draft. I'm not going to dismiss that so quickly. So I'm kind of all for it.
Well, for me, I know that right now that the trade market for him is sizzling hot. Quite a few teams are interested in him, and of course, for the Detroit Lions, cornerback is one of the major needs that we need to address coming up. Defensive back, all of that stuff, and Jalen Ramsey has the skill set for it. However, I'm going to give a hell no on this one for a few reasons. Number one, I don't think the Los Angeles Rams are going to trade him to anybody. Not with the dead cap hit that they would have, not with the money that they're paying him. I don't think that's going to happen. Regardless, he's going to be stuck there in LA for a while.
Jacksonville. I mean, my bad, LA.
Yeah, he's in LA. He was from Jacksonville and went to LA. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't think he's a great culture fit for Detroit with his attitude. Number one, he left.
A perfect fit.
No, I don't think so. And here's why I think this is not. Because he threw an attitude in Jacksonville saying he didn't get along with the team front office and wanted to be traded. LA picked him up. They paid a pretty hefty price for him with first round draft picks and I believe a fourth round, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Rams signed someone else and decided to pay him a little bit more. And now Jalen Ramsey appears to have a little bit of an attitude about that, looking to get out of LA. So no, I don't for the attitude, that's another reason I say no. He's too quick to want to leave if things don't go his way. The other thing is I don't think it's within the wise choice of Brad Holmes with the budget for him. Could we possibly afford him? No, but we've got a lot of needs to address, and I don't think that Ramsey is, while he's got the great skill set, is going to be worth the cost to acquire him.
Too old. He's too old. Yeah. But one thing about the attitude and stuff, like now, especially, I don't know about the contract and stuff, but because like I said, I personally don't like Raheem Morris. I don't know if anybody else out there, who watches football, and maybe I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing. Maybe y'all, a little bit more astute than I am. But I don't really like Raheem Morris. I don't, look at people, look at the change in people's games. That team looked different under Brandon Staley and under some other guys, like under Wade Phillips and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if he's, if the attitude isn't warranted. You know what I'm saying? And players get tired of terrible organizations. Look at how many people left here and said something about it. So and we all could agree. We at some point we were a very shitty organization. We ran very bad and kept making terrible decision after terrible decision after terrible decision. But like I said, I think he's a perfect fit just as far as football goes. If you Ramsey get on people. Like Ramsey, I would like it if he was a little bit younger, but I'm gonna say no too. At this point, everything standing right now, no, I can't do it.
Right. Yeah, like I said, it would just matter about the contract. That's all. It's not if he's the dude, if he's a player, if he's gonna continue to play. We all know as coaching staff, you're not gonna come here and fall asleep with a big check. We all know that. You're not doing that here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So It just would matter if they can iron out the money, man. And if he can kind of hold off and get a bigger chunk of his money next year as opposed to this year, you know what I'm saying? Then I'll be for it. But if not, you know, I trust Brad Holmes to draft somebody. Maybe they're not as good as Jalen Ramsey, but I trust that he'll do what he's supposed to do, man. So yeah.
And just to add to what you're saying, like if anybody could do it, it'd be, you know, they coined the phrase Disneynomics. It'd be Disney. They could figure something out. So
right,
everybody know. Everybody know.
I'm sure Dessert could work his magic with the contract, and Jalen Ramsey has the skills, but he's too. I'm calling diva. I'm calling diva, and that is not what we need here in Detroit. I'm calling diva. Let somebody else take that mess, because I think it will backfire if the Lions take him.